third and fourth, the thighs of Krishna. I request Gautam Prabhu to start the recording when the last phase of Mangalacharan goes on, because I cannot just repeat what I have told. There are some important things which should be covered. Like now we were talking about third canto refers to the first subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Atra sarga visargasta sthanam poshamuktayaha. Manvantara Ishanukata Nirodho Mukti Ashraya. Sarga means creation. How this whole cosmic material creation happened. How Lord creates everything. He is God, generator, operator, destroyer. So how God creates everything. That has been very nicely expressed in this third canto. Third canto is also referred to the thigh portion of Krishna. The whole Bhagavatam is the body of Krishna. So thighs, third and fourth are referred to the thighs of Krishna. So chapter 1, questions by Vidura. Sri Shuka Uvacha. Evam etat pura prushto Maitreyo Bhagavan kila Kshatva vanam pravishtena Tektva swagruham Ruddhimat Ruddhimat Sri Shuka Uvacha. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, Evam, thus, etat, this, pura, formerly, Prushtaha, being asked, Maitreya, the great sage Maitreya, Bhagavan, his grace, Kila, certainly, Shatra, by Vidura, Vanam, forest, Pravishtena, entering, Tektva, renouncing, Swagraham, own house, Ruddhimat, prosperous. So Sukadeva Goswami said, after renouncing his prosperous home and entering the forest, King Vidura, the great devotee, asked this question of his grace Maitreya Rishi. So he has renounced the kingdom from Hastinapur, he has entered the forest. Now he is asking this question of his grace Maitreya Rishi. Let us see. Afterwards, 2-3 verses when we do. Vrindavanida Mataji can read 3 verses. Yadva ayam mantra kruddho Bhagavan Akhileshwarah Pauravendra Gruham Hitva Praviveshatma Praviveshatma Satkrutam Pravi Praviveshatma Satkrutam Yat, the house. Why? What else is there to say? I am Sri Krishna, Mantrakrut, minister, Avaha, you people, Bhagavan, the personality of God, Akhila Ishvara, the Lord of everything, Pauravendra, Duryodhana, Graham house, Hitva, giving up, Pravivesha, entered, Atmavad, Atmasat, identify with oneself, Krutam, so accepted. What else is there to say about the residential house of the Pandavas? Sri Krishna, the Lord of everything, acted as your minister. He used to enter that house as if it were his own. And he did not care, he did not take any care of Duryodhana's house. So this all Sukadeva Goswami is expressing to Maharaj Parikshit that your residential house of the Pandavas was so fortunate that Krishna is entering as if it is his house. That means he's eating there, he's sleeping there, he's playing with his cousins. And but when the care of Duryodhana used to call him, come here, take chappan, go. But still he used to not go. He did not take the care of Duryodhana, but he took the care of Pandavas. Okay, these 2 verses now. Please read. So that other verses is Rajo Vacha. Let us see what.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandat Pranam. Shri Shuka Uvacha Evam etat pura prishto Maitreyo Bhagavan kila Shatra vanam pravishtena Tyakta swagraham riddhimat. Translation. Shukadeva Goswami said, after renouncing his prosperous home and entering the forest, King Vidur, the great devotee, asked his question of his grace Maitreya Rishi. Text 2. Yadva ayam mantra kridva Bhagavan Akhileshwarah Purvendra griham hitva Prabhavishte satmasat kritam. What else is there to say about the residential house of the Pandavas? Sri Krishna, the Lord of everything, acted as your minister. He used to enter that house as if it were his own, and he did not take any care of Duryodhana's house. Purport. According to the Gaudiya Achintya Bhed Abhed Tattva philosophy, anything which satisfies the senses of the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, is also Sri Krishna. For example, Sri Vrindavana Dham is non-different from Sri Krishna, Tat Dhama Vrindavanam, because at Vrindavan the Lord enjoys the transcendental bliss of his internal potency. Similarly, the house of the Pandavas was also the source of transcendental bliss for the Lord. It is mentioned here that the Lord identified the house with his own self. Thus, the house of the Pandavas was as good as Vrindavan, and Vidur should not have given up that place of transcendental bliss. Therefore, the reason for his quitting the house was not exactly family misunderstanding. Rather, Vidur took the opportunity to meet Rishi Maitreya and discuss transcendental knowledge. For a saintly person like Vidur, any disturbance due to worldly affairs is insignificant. Such disturbances, however, are sometimes favorable for higher realization, and therefore Vidur took advantage of a family misunderstanding in order to meet Maitreya Rishi. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Now let us see what Sukadev Goswami is asking to, sorry, Parikshit Maharaj is asking to Sukadev Goswami. Sukadev Goswami has expressed the fortune. But still now, Parikshit Maharaj doesn't know how Krishna is to behave with Pandavas. So all these things are adding up the value of Pandavas. And how fortunate are your grandfather? Rajovacha putra putra shaktur bhagavata maitreyena sangamah kadava sah samvad etadvarnaya nah prabho. So king asked Sukadeva Goswami, Rajovacha kutra, wherein Shaktu with Vidura, Bhagavata and with his grace, Maitreyena, with Maitreya, Asa, there was Sangama, meeting, Kada, when Sava also, Saha, with Samvada, discussion, Etat, this, Varnaya, describe, Nah unto me, Prabhu, O my Lord. The king asked Sukadeva Goswami, where and when did the meeting and discussion take place between Vidura and his grace Maitramuni? Kindly oblige, my lord, and describe this to us. So I want to know how this meeting happened and what conversation happened between Vidura and Maitreya. Because it is said Gita has been again spoken by Maitra Rishi to Vidura. That's another nice name for Gita. With Maitra Rishi spoke to Vidura. And I find out and let you know. Again, Gita was spoken. Like how the same Gita is spoken by Bhishma Pitamaha to Yudhishthira Maharaj. Gita means transcendental knowledge. So same transcendental knowledge is given to Vidura by Maitra Rishi. It's a nice name, not able to recollect. It's a song, like you have Venu Geet, you have Brahmar Geet. Like that, there is a nice name. I'll just check the that you know. Okay. नैहल्पार्थोदयस्तस्य विदुरस्यामलात्मनः तस्मिन् वरीयसी प्रश्नः साधुवादोपब्रह्मतः न never he certainly alpa arthah small unimportant alpa arthah purpose udayah raised tasya his vidurasya of vidura amalatmanah of the saintly man tasmin in that variyasi highly purposeful prashnaha question sadhuvadah things approved by saints and sages upabhramitah full with. So Saint Vidura was a great and pure devotee of the Lord. And therefore his question to his grace, Rishi Maitreya, must have been very purposeful on the highest level and approved by learned circles. So the questions, like in the first canto, the first chapter only, the question was, what is the thing which is beneficial to everyone? The answer was the very question itself. The very question itself is because it is focusing on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The question itself is very beneficial to everyone. The same thing here has been said. Vidura, very knowledgeable person, pure devotee. That is why when he asks a question, it has a purpose. And what is that purpose? Purpose is for the upliftment of the whole society. Okay. Aruna, read both the verses because next is Sutuvacha.
Hare Krishna, text 3. Rajovacha kutra shaturбhagavata Maitreyena sangamaha kada vasaha samvada etadvarnyana prabho. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Exactly as Shaunaka Rishi inquired of Suta Goswami and Suta Goswami replied, so Srila Shukadev Goswami replied to King Parikshit's inquiries. The king was very anxious to understand the meaningful discussion that took place between the two great souls. Text 4. Nahyalpartodayastasya vidurasyamalatmanah tasmin variyasi prashnah sadhuvadopabhrumhitah. Purport, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Questions and answers among different classes of men have different value. Inquiries by mercantile men in a business exchange cannot be expected to be highly purposeful and spiritual values. Questions and answers by different classes of men can be guessed by the caliber of the persons concerned. In Bhagavad Gita, the discussion was between Lord Sri Krishna and Arjuna, the Supreme Person and the Supreme Devotee respectively. The Lord admitted Arjuna to be his devotee and friend, Bhagavad Gita 4.3, and therefore any sane man can guess that the discussion was on the topic of the Bhakti Yoga system. Actually, the whole Bhagavad Gita is based on the principle of Bhakti Yoga. There is a difference between karma and karma yoga. Karma is regulated action for the enjoyment of the fruit by the performer, but karma yoga is action performed by the devotee for the satisfaction of the Lord. Karma yoga is based on bhakti or pleasing the Lord, whereas karma is based on pleasing the senses of the performer himself. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, one is advised to approach a bona fide spiritual master when one is actually inclined to question from an elevated level of spiritual understanding. A common man who has no interest in spiritual values has no need to approach a spiritual master just as a matter of following fashion. As a student, Maharaja Parikshit was serious about learning the science of God, and Sukadev Goswami was a bona fide spiritual master in the transcendental science. Both of them knew that the topics discussed by Vidura and Rishi Maitreya were elevated, and thus Maharaja Parikshit was very interested in learning from the bona fide spiritual master. Hare Krishna.
So now let us see the samvad. See here how samvad is happening. Shukadev Goswami with Parikshit Maharaj. Now Suta Goswami, after hearing all these conversations, he is repeating the same to the sages of Sri. Let us see. Sutuvacha sa evam ऋषिवर्यो पृष्टो राह परीक्षिता प्रत्याह तं सुबहु प्रत्याहतं सुबहुवित् प्रीतात्मा श्रूयतामिति. Sutuvacha. Sukadeva Goswami says, Saha he. Evam thus Rishivaryah, the great Rishi, I am Sukadeva Goswami, Prushtaha, being questioned, Ragyah, by the king, Ragyah, Parikshitah, Maharaj Parikshit, Prati, to Ah replied, Tam unto the king, Subahu, with highly experienced Pritatma, fully satisfied, Shruyatam, please hear me, iti thus. Sri Sutta Goswami said, the great sage Sukadeva Goswami was highly experienced and was pleased with the king. Thus being questioned by the Lord, he said to him, please hear the topics attentively. Same thing we have even in first canto, after hearing the questions from the Shaunakadi Rishi, Sutta Goswami expressed his happiness. So the more the questions, the more dealings with the topics. That is why last they ask any questions so that the topic is extended. In the beginning, somebody used to say any questions. I used to feel why they are asking questions. Because we used to think that when we are going to get prasadam. So that is why it is said last 15 minutes should be only dedicated, not more, so that the other person should not feel how many questions are asked. Generally, the assembly in the temple it happens. She Shuka Vacha. Okay. Laksha, read that. Read the fifth one.
Yes, Mataji. Shloka 5. Sutta uvacha sa eva mruti शवर्योऽयं पृष्टो राज्ञा परीक्षिता प्रत्याहं तं सुबहुवित् प्रीतात्मा श्रूयतामिति. Srila Prabhupada ki jai ho. Shri Sutta Goswami said, the great sage Sukadeva Goswami was highly experienced and was pleased with the king. Thus being questioned by the king, he said to him, please hear the topics attentively. Hare Krishna.
Shuka yada tu raja स्वसुतान साधुन् कृष्णन्न धर्मेण विनष्टदृष्टिः भ्रातुर्यविष्टस्य सुतान् विबन्धून् प्रवेश्य लाक्षा भवने ददाह यदा तु राजा स्वसुतान् साधुन् yada when to but Raja King Dhritarashtra Sasutan his own sons asadun dishonest Pushnan nourishing none ever dharmena on the right path vinashta drishtihi one who has lost his insight Bhratu of his brother Yavishthasa Yavish Yavishthasya Yavishthasya younger Sutan sons Vibandhun having no guardian father, Pravesha, made to enter, Laksha, like a Bhavane in the house, Dadaha, set on fire. Translation. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, King Dhritarashtra became blind under the influence of impious desires to nourish his dishonest sons, and thus he set fire to the lacquer house to burn his fatherless nephews, the Pandavas. So Dhritarashtra was blind with his consciousness also. That is how he wanted to destroy his brothers. यदा सभायां कुलदेवदेव्या केशाभिमर्शं सुतकर्मघर्यं न वारयामास नृप स्नुषाया स्वाश्रयेर्हरन्त्या कुचकुङ्कुमानि यदा when sabhayam the assembly Gurudeva Devya of Draupadi, the wife of godless Yudhishthir, Kesha Abhimarsham, insult by grabbing her hair, Sutakarma, action taken by his son, Gharyam, which was abominable, Na did not, Varayam, Asa, forbid, Nripa, the king, Snushaya, of his daughter-in-law, Swasrayit by her tears, Harantyaha of she was washing, Vichakunkumani, red dust on her breast. The king did not forbid his son Dushasana abominable action, grabbing the hair of Draupadi, the wife of the godly king Yudhishthira, even though her tears washed the red dust on her breast. Okay, 2 verses. Abna, read.
Hare Krishna. Text 6. Sri Shuka Uvacha Yada tu Raja Swasutana Sadhun Pushnanna Dharmena Vinashta Drishtihi Praturyavistasya Sutan Vibandhun Praveshya Laksha Bhavane Dadaha. Purport Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Dhritarashtra was blind from birth, but his blindness in committing impious activities to support his dishonest sons was a greater blindness than his physical lack of eyesight. The physical lack of sight does not bar one from spiritual progress, but when one is blind spiritually, even though physically fit, that blindness is dangerously detrimental to the progressive path of human life. Text 7. Yada sabhayam kurudeva devya keshabi marsham sutakarma garhyam navarayamasa nrupasnushayaha swastrairharantya kuchakunkumani. Translation. The king did not forbid his son Dushasana's abominable action of grabbing the hair of Draupadi, the wife of the godly king Yudhishthira, even though her tears washed the red dust on her breast. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So the cruel behavior of the Dhritarashtra, because of the overly attachment to his son, that has been expressed by Suta Goswami. See, what they have taken first is the attempt to kill. Then what they have taken? First topic is what? There are so many cruel behaviors he has done, like Madri sending out the Pandavas, the Pandu sending out, everything has been done. But the most important first is focused. If you want to express somebody's cruelty, you cannot express from a small thing. You should directly jump for the biggest thing. You should know how to speak once. Somebody's cruelty you're expressing. You cannot cover up somebody's mistake. If you are covering up somebody's mistake by saying, no, he did a small thing, actually you would have done a big thing. So that is why here the sages are expressing the biggest thing. That is, first is the attempt to kill the Pandavas. Then the next biggest thing, the biggest dishonor what he has done is, the Dushasana is attempting to, first is touching the hair. Touching the hair itself is the most degrading thing. That too of whom? The daughter-in-law of the house. So that is how the most rotten thing has been first expressed, so that there is no room for any sympathy to be shown to Dhritarashtra first. First is Dhritarashtra and then to Duryodhana, Dushasana. द्यूते त्वधर्मेण जितस्य साधो सत्यावलम्बस्य वनं गतस्य न याचतो दात् समयेन दायं तमोजुषाणो यदजातशत्रुः. Dute, by means of gambling, too, but adharmena, by unfair tricks, jitasya, of the vanquished, sadhu, a saintly person, satya avalambasya, one who embraced truth as shelter. Vanam, forest, gatasya, of the goer, no, never, yachataha, when asked for, adata, delivered, samayena, in due course, dayam, right share, tamaha, jushana, overwhelmed by illusion, yet, as much as Ajata Shatruho, of one who had no enemy. Now Yudhishthira Maharaj is glorified that he is Ajata Shatru, a person who has no enemy. He is a sadhu. Now see how many glories are. He is a sadhu. He is a saintly person. He is Satya Avalambasya. He has embraced truth. To such a person, so much of cheating that he has been just instead of giving the right share, he has been sent to forest. So now the what all impious activities the Rashtra has done, sinful activities. Biggest to slowly, it has been shown. First is the highest is what? Attempt to kill. There cannot be nothing more than this. Then now sending to forest. Okay. Udhanina Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Dyute, just a second, ma'am. I don't know what is that. Zoom is giving me trouble, Mataji, today.
You're reading directly from there. You don't have book.
Yes, Mataji, it's on the desktop. द्यूते त्व अधर्मेण जितस्य साधो सत्यावलम्बस्य वनं गतस्य न याचतो अदत्समयेन दायं तमोजुषाणो यद् अजातशत्रुः. Translation: Yudhishthir who was born without any envy, was unfairly defeated in gambling. But because he had taken the vow of truthfulness, he went off to the forest. When he came back in due course and begged the return of his rightful share of the kingdom, he was refused by Dhritarashtra, who was overwhelmed by illusion. Purport: Maharaj Yudhishthir was the rightful heir to his father's kingdom, but just to favor his own sons, headed by Duryodhan, Dhritarashtra, Maharaj Yudhishthir's uncle, adopted various unfair means to cheat his nephews of their rightful share of the kingdom. At last, the Pandavas demanded only 5 villages, one for each of the 5 brothers, but that was also refused by the usurpers. This incident led to the war of Kurukshetra. The battle of Kurukshetra, therefore, was induced by the Kurus and not the Pandavas. As Kshatriyas, the proper livelihood of the Pandavas was only to rule and not to accept any other occupation. A Brahmana, Kshatriya, or Vaishya will not accept employment for his livelihood under any circumstances. Hare Krishna Mataji.
A Brahmana, Kshatriya, or Vaishya will not accept employment for his livelihood under any circumstances. As Kshatriya, the proper livelihood of the Pandavas was only to rule, not to accept any other occupation. So here very clearly it has been said, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya. They should not go for earning. That is why Kalu Shudra Sambhava. And if you see in Kali Yuga, all these 3 people go for earning the livelihood, accepting employment. That is what Britishers did. They made in such a way educational system that what is the purpose of entering the school is to earn. Even Brahmanas done the same thing. In fact, Brahmanas, they are like, they read the scriptures, they guide the society. Kshatriyas are the ruling people. They don't go and serve someone. The Vaishyas, they do their business. Krishi, Go, Rakshaha, Vanijya. Only Shudras go to work under someone. But our whole educational system has been designed in such a way that everybody has been made a Shudra. That is why there is no harmony, you see. Harmony in society. There's always some conflict or the other which happens. Yada cha partha prahitah sabhayam jagadgururyani jagada krishnaha natani pumsam amrutayanani rajorumene kshatapunyaleshaha. Yada when cha also partha prahitah, being advised by Arjuna, Sabhaya in the assembly, Jagadguru of the teacher of the world, Yani, those, Jagad went, Krishna, Lord Krishna, none ever, Tani, such words, Pumsam, of all men of sense, Amrita Ayanani, as good as nectar, Raja, the king, Dhritarashtra or Duryodhana, Guru, very important, Mene did consider Shata, dwindling, Punhalesha, fragment of Payasa. So Lord Krishna was sent by Arjuna into the assembly as the spiritual master of the whole world. And although his words were heard by some like Bhishma as pure nectar, it was not so for the others who were completely bereft of the last farthing of the past pious works. The king, the Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana did not take the words of Lord Krishna very seriously. So as messenger, Lord went. But the karmas are so bad. Now no pious activities are left. The sins have surpassed or overpowered the pious activities. King means he does pious activities also. That is why sins have been first projected. पाप का घड़ा भर जाता है वैसे. Nobody does all the sins. It is not that he is only committing sins. He is doing some pious activity also. But now, because all the fruits of the pious activities are over, now only sins are left. Now for that, what to happen? Because of that, they could not take the good words also, advisable words also. When a person commits lot of sins, especially to the devotees, why decide Vaishnava Aparadha should not be done? Then the ears becomes closed to the good words given by one's own parents, maybe by one's own counselors. You start abusing your own counselors. It happens. It's all because this is the last farthing of all the past pious works are done. For pious activities, naturally you get good results. In pious activities, when it increases, then your ears becomes closed. Simple. That is the time it has been advised, chant more. Chant more. Don't perform more sinful activities. And that also now closes. Because sins have become so much. That's why we have to be very careful of all of our. Okay. So, Raksha Mataji, will you read?
Mataji. Shloka 9. Yada cha parth prahita sabhayam. नहीं, रात. यदा च पार्थ प्रहित सभायां जगद्गुरुयानि जगाद कृष्णः न तानि पुंसामृतायनानि राजोरु मेने. Translation.
राजोरुमेने शतपुण्यलेशः.
Yes, Mataji.
राजोरुमेने शतपुण्यलेशः.
Shatapunyaleshah. Translation. Lord Krishna was sent by Arjun into the assembly as the spiritual master of the whole world, and although his words were heard by some like Bhishma as pure nectar, it was not so far the others who were completely bereft of the last parting of the past pious works. The king Dhritarashtra or Duryodhana did not take the words of Lord Krishna very seriously. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai ho. Lord Krishna, who is the spiritual master of the entire universe, accepted the duty of the messenger and deputed by Arjuna, went to the assembly of King Dhritarashtra. On a peace mission, Krishna is everyone's Lord. Yet because he was a transcendental friend of the Arjun, he gladly accepted the role of messenger, exactly like an ordinary friend. That is the beauty of the Lord's behavior with his pure devotees. He reached the assembly and spoke about peace, and the message was relished by Bhishma and other great leaders because it was spoken by the Lord himself. But due to the exhaustion of the pious result of their past deeds, Duryodhan or his father Dhritarashtra did not take the message very seriously. That is the way of person who have no credit of pious deeds. By past pious deeds, one may become the king of the country, but because of the result of the pious act of Duryodhan and company were dwelling, it becomes evident from their action that they were sure to lose the kingdom. Always sweet to a healthy man, but it tastes very bitter to person suffering from jaundice. Hare Krishna.
So because the pious activities are over, now good advice also could not be heard. By whom? Duryodhana and his father. यदोपहुतो भवनं प्रविष्टो मन्त्राय पृष्टः किल पूर्वजेन अथाह तन्मन्त्रदृशां वरीयान् यन्मन्त्रिणो वैदुरिकं वदन्ति यदा when upahatah was called by bhavanam the palace pravishtaha entered mantraya for consultation prishtah asked by kila of course purvajen by the elder brother atah thus said tat that mantra advice drisham just suitable variyan excellent yet that which mantrina the ministers of state or expert politicians vaidurikam instructions by Vidura, Vadanti, do they say. When Vidura was advised by his elder brother Dhritarashtra for consultation, he entered the house and gave instructions which were exactly to the point. His advice is well known, and instructions by Vidura are approved by expert ministers of state. So Dhritarashtra called Vidura for consultation, and he gave instructions which are exactly the same. And his instructions was approved by everyone. But what about Dhritarashtra? Did he listen? No. Vidura's advice is to be heard by everyone. But because there is no tinge of any pious activities left now, even his words one becomes a deaf ear. It became a deaf ear. It is like entering a deaf ear. Okay. Read. Aruna, read.
Text 10. यदोपहूतो भवनं प्रविष्टो मन्त्राय पृष्ठ किल पूर्वजेन अताह तन्मन्त्रदृशां वरीयान् यन्मन्त्रिणो वैदुरिकं वदन्ति. Translation. When Vidura was invited by his elder brother Dhritarashtra for consultation, he entered the house and gave instructions which were exactly to the point. His advice is well known, and instructions by Vidura are approved by expert ministers of state. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Political suggestions by Vidura are known as expert. Just as in modern times, Pandita Chanakya is considered the authority in good counsel in both political and moral instructions. Hare Krishna.
अजातशत्रो प्रतियच्छदायं तितिक्षतो दुर्विषहं तवागः सहानुजो यत्र वृकोदराधि श्वसन्नृषा यत्त्वमलं बिभेषि अजातशत्रुः Yudhishthir Maharaj was the enemy Pradiyachah written Dayam legitimate share Titikshataha of he who is so forbearing Durvishaham unbearable Tava your Agah offense Saha along with Anujaha younger brothers Yatra wherein Vrukodara Bhima Ahi revenging snake Shwasan breathing heavily Varusha in anger Yathun from you allow verily Vibheshi Ruhi. Vidura said, you must now return the legitimate share to Yudhishthir, who has no enemies and who has been forbearing, much of tolerance. Through untold sufferings due to your offenses, he is waiting with his younger brothers, among whom is the revengeful Bhima, breathing heavily like a snake. Sure, you are afraid of him. He is having a lot of tolerance, but understand there is Bhima who is standing. He is breathing heavily like a snake. So anyhow, you are afraid of him. So Vidura is telling to whom? To Dhritarashtra. Okay, next, and then fourth you read. Hindu has joined. Hindu?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
पार्थास्तु देवो भगवान् मुकुन्दो गृहीतवान् सक्ष्यति देवदेवः आस्ते स्वपुर्यां यदु देवदेवो विनिर्जिताशेषनु Devadevah. Parthamsa, the son of Pritha, 22. But Deva, the Lord, Bhagavan, the personality of God, Mukunda, Mukunda, Sri Krishna, who awards liberation, Gruhitavan has taken up, Sir with Shiti Devadevaha, the Brahmanas and the demigods. Asti is present, Swapuryam, along with his family, Yadu Devadevaha, worshipped by the royal order of the Yadu dynasty, Vinirjita, who have been conquered, Ashesha, unlimited, Niradeva, kings, Deva, the Lord. So, Lord Krishna, the personality of God, accepted the sons of Tha as his kinsmen, and all the kings of the world are with Lord Krishna. He is present in his home with all his family members, the kings, the princess of Yadu dynasty, who have conquered unlimited number of rulers, and he is their Lord. So now this whole topic is telling Vidura is telling. He's telling, see, Lord Krishna is also there. He has accepted the sons of Tha. Vidura is giving a good counseling. He is saying that Lord Krishna is very intimately associated with Pandavas. And he is a supreme Lord. Now he is again introducing Krishna, that he is the Lord of all the kings. And Lord is present in his house with whom? With all his family members. The members are from Yadu dynasty. So you should not think that Krishna is an ordinary person. So you should hear to the advice of Krishna. So that is why he said here, he has conquered unlimited number of rulers. And he is their Lord. Don't just think that Krishna is only some Gwala. He is the Lord of all Shaktis. Somebody told me, we don't worship Krishna. I said, why? Because he's a Vaishya. I said, you nonsense. Krishna is beyond Varnashram. Chaturvarne Maya system. Guna Karma Vibhagashna. Krishna has made all the Varnas. Though he appears to be a cowherd boy, he is not a cowherd boy. That is why here introduction is what? Krishna is the ruler, is the Lord of unlimited number of rulers. So don't consider him to be an ordinary boy. Okay. Read, Bindu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Verse 11. अजातशत्रु प्रतियच्छदायं तितिक्षतो दुर्विषहं त्वगा तवाकः सहानुजो यत्र वृकोदराहि श्वशांसन् रुषाय त्वम् अलं बिबेषि. Translation. Vidura said, you must now return the legitimate share to Yudhishthira, who has no enemies and who has been forbearing through untold suffering due to your offenses. He is waiting with his younger brothers, among whom is the revengeful Bhima, breathing heavily like a snake. Surely you are afraid of him. Text 12. पार्थां सुदेवो भगवान् मुकुन्दो गृहीतवान् सक्षिति देवदेवः आस्ते स्वपुर्यां यदुदेवदेवो विनिर्जिताशेष नृदेवदेवः. Translation. Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, had accepted the sons of Pratha as his kinsmen, and all the kings of the world are with Lord Sri Krishna. He is present in his home with all his family members, the kings and the princes of the Yadu dynasty, who have conquered an unlimited number of rulers, and he is their lord. Purport. Vidura gave Dhritarashtra very good counsel regarding political alliance with the sons of Pritha, the Pandavas. The first thing he said was that Lord Krishna was intimately related with them as their cousin. Because Lord Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, he is worshipable by all Brahmanas and demigods, who are the controllers of the universal affairs. Besides that, Lord Krishna and his family members, the royal order of the Yadu dynasty, were the conquerors of all kings of the world. The Kshatriyas used to fight the kings of various dominants and kidnap their beautiful princess daughters after conquering their relatives. This system was laudable because the Kshatriyas and the princess would be married only on the basis of the chivalry of the conquering Kshatriya. All the young princes of the Yadu dynasty married the daughters of other kings in this way, by chivalrous force, and thus they were conquerors of all the kings of the world. Vidura wanted to impress upon his elder brother that fighting with the Pandavas was fraught with many dangers because they were supported by Lord Krishna, who had conquered even in his childhood demons like Kamsa and Jarasandha, and demigods like Brahma and Indra. Therefore, all universal power was behind the Pandavas. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
So Vidura is telling all this. Universal power is behind. Fine. So we stop here. Next is very beautiful. You are maintaining offense personified. Duryodhana. Because of that, that is why maintaining a non-devotee of Krishna means one loses all his pious attributes. One loses all his auspicious qualities also. Okay, any doubts?
Mataji, I'm not able to raise my hand, so I'm just asking you straight. Mataji, in the previous chapter, like in second canto, 10th chapter, we saw how the creation was being described. And then suddenly they express the desire to hear of Vidur. And here we are seeing the continuation. He's
It
answering
is
the
not
answers.
how the creation. This is how the Purva Kriya, setting the scene. Setting the scene is happening. You see, again the recap is going on. Vidura, again about the Pandavas, about Dhritarashtra's evil attitudes. Why all these things have been spoken. Directly the topic is not taken, but it is going to come to the topic about creation. Why? Introduction of Krishna as the maintainer of the Kshatriyas has been started. So slowly, about Lord. Somebody has to speak to someone.
Yes, yes.
Avatam is conversation. It is a conversation between two saintly people. One acts as a student, one acts as a guru. So the whole creation, how it happened, everything will be coming. But Purva Kriya is setting the seed. Like Bhagavad Gita, why it started with the first chapter.
Yes.
Where actually Arjuna is back answering Krishna.
So I was thinking, like, suppose I don't know how right it is. Whenever I'm listening, I put myself in their shoes. So I was thinking, like, if somebody is telling me and I'm so absorbedly hearing about creation, and suddenly I say, now you stop and you tell me, then it sounds very, very abrupt.
That is how
So,
the creation about creation is there, but it will come. It will come in a very refined way, slowly. First, all the even in the creation, evil people are also there. Na? How Krishna deals with them. When you say creation, it is not just good.
true.
Who has created demons?
Yes.
Krishna only has
Same
created.
Lord. Mm.
So the demonic attitudes also has been focused, and how Krishna vanquishes the demons. That is also there. So when
Yes.
you see creation, all type of people are there. How Krishna is managing everyone. Like when you say temple, my Shiksha Guru was telling, who is the best temple person? Who manages everyone? Outside or set of people will be there. You have to manage everybody.
Yes.
If you
That's
say
true.
only those who follow me will be there, those who don't follow will not be there. Doesn't work. Those who don't follow on their own, if they go, go. But you cannot say you go.
Very true.
On their own, somebody leaves and goes, go get lost. But all type of people will be there. Some will appreciate you, some will talk behind you.
True.
You have to manage everything.
And Mataji's second doubt is, when a child is born, how can they name them like Dhritarashtra, which in itself has so much of negative connotation?
What is the meaning of Dhritarashtra?
As much as I understand, one who holds the throne or Rashtra, very tightly.
Very nice. Also, his drishti, Dhritarashtra, that is what your meaning is right. One who holds the kingdom tightly or his throne tightly. This is one meaning. Another meaning is as well he is blindness consciousness. So while naming, it was not wrong. He was the elder son, but he was not having that fortune of his eyes. Now his brother again, everybody wants the elder son to be the king. His brother, younger, was pale, but always sick. There was nothing like negative in it, but again understand. Even if negative name is given, there is also will of providence. We may think why is the devil name is there. His karmas are like that. His karmas are. So automatically it is Saraswati who sits in the consciousness of everyone, the tongue especially. So Vagdevi gives such type of names.
True.
Okay?
Mataji, Dhritarashtra is represented the common man like us. जैसे me and my propensity. He is a holder of this
Yeah.
propensity.
Ignorance. He's a personification of ignorance. And then he is cultivating who is a personification of enviousness,
True.
his own son. As you sow, you reap. That's the problem. You get what you have sown.
Mataji, few say that earlier Duryodhan was named as Suyodhan only, and later on, because of his nefarious activities, he came to be known as Duryodhan. Then who would decide now suddenly from this day now we'll call you as Duryodhan? You're doing such bad things. Miss.
In
How?
this, it is the will of providence again. Who does that? The guru does that. In this age, you don't expect that all things to happen. Now, first of all, guru doesn't know who is Shishya first. Shishya doesn't know who is guru, but still initiation is happening.
Yeah.
This age, you cannot expect all this. In those days, there is Kula Guru. There is somebody to advise also.
Yeah.
Those ages cannot be compared with this age. This age, Guru, Shishya, there is only formality going on. After initiation, the Guru forgets the Shishya, Shishya forgets the Guru. Very rare students are there who are serving their Guru. Fortune, lots of fortune is required.
Actually, you may find it funny, Mataji, but then I was thinking like you have such a nice name and you are proving true to your name. I have a nice name, but I'm yet to begin with the D of devotion. So, but name is there. Here they have good or bad name, whatever. They are proving true to
Somebody
their
was named
names.
Yamaraj Das. You know that? He
Very
came
well.
running and told, why my Yamaraj Das? Yamaraj, very okay.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. One second.
Then, Pavani goes to
Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo.
Thank you, Mataji. Hari Bol.
Krishna.
छह sections, छह subjects लिख सकते हैं.